Right, here with Wellington manager Danny Wakeling after a 4-2 defeat to Glebe in the Kent Senior Trophy. Dan, I might just ask you your thoughts basically straight off the bat.
My thoughts?
First half?
I think more the day, we weren't our usual selves today. We were a good 10-15% off in terms of intensity and a positive assertive aggression, but I'm going to take this from the chin myself. I altered the side. I changed our tactical approach. I looked to give lads in football that have been on the fringes and bubbling underneath. They've been game changers. I moulded the team. Yes, we speak as a management team, but I take full responsibility because I've picked what I thought would do the job today. So if anyone's under par today or anyone wants to sort of point fingers in any direction, I'll take that right on the chin. I changed. Don't get me wrong, we haven't had the same 11 for the 9-game unbeaten run. We've used 20 players in that time. But I sort of changed the style of us today a little bit to make sure we can get as many boys playing football as possible. So I take full responsibility. Did
you think that we showed the intensity that you like your teams to show?
That's a fair question, and I can give you a fair answer to that. No. So then my mental reasoning will be, I've looked to give some lads some football. I've changed not necessarily the shape, but the identity of the team a little bit, and we were under par in that department, and all the boys at half-time and at full-time have accepted responsibility for that. So as much as I take responsibility for picking the team, the lads take responsibility for a lack of intensity. That is on them. That is on them.
Several of their goals there were question marks about. First one offside, second one not a penalty, fourth one offside at the free kick. So we've not played our best, Dan, and some of the goals that have gone in against us are questionable at the same time.
Fair, perhaps the referees didn't have the best day, but I always look at myself first and player second, and officials, they're a part of the day and you have to negotiate them. Not everyone can be brilliant on the day, but when you concede 4, I don't want to stand here clutching at straws and saying 3 of them aren't our fault, because if our intensity levels were good, if we showed the right level of character like we normally do, we're probably not in them situations in the first place.
How did you feel that the players that you brought in and gave a game today did?
I actually thought, Elion come in and played more of a false 9 today. I actually think he was our best player in the first half by a million miles. His movement, his runs off the ball were exceptional. We were always one runner short to break a line. We was all playing under Elion too often. We wanted both fullbacks high and wide. Hassan Nassilaj was due to be starting as a fullback, which might surprise some people. We wanted Randy and Hassan up high. 3 number 10s all in the half spaces, and that leaves Elion then to move around as he can. He ended up being an old school channel runner because we weren't as effective going forward in fullback areas as we should be. Randy, that's his natural game, he did alright. Beckett is not necessarily his natural game, to be fair to him. Hassan was due to start. He read the information incorrectly, he went to Glebe this afternoon, so he's been pulled, he's been given a slap on the nuts, to be fair. And at that late stage, when you can't select him, probably from the word go, that's altered our approach to the game. The idea was to have 2 athletic fullbacks pinned high, 3 number 10s all in the half spaces, and a false 9 buzzing around. And I think that would have caused him a lot of problems. Hassan was late, he's taken it to the chin, he's accepted it. If I could have changed, with Hassan not playing and then dynamics altering, I wish I was able to change 6 on the team sheet to give us more fluidity. That's what I'm saying, I will take it on the chin.
Fisher, Wednesday, Dan, next up.
Yep.
Do you see us reverting back to the side that beat Erith and Belvedere? Or are you making a decision on today's game?
Yeah, not necessarily. Again, we'll let it chill down. We'll let it go. We've been on 9 unbeaten run, which no one thought we was capable of. Let's be honest. We've won 7 on the bounce. The boys have won 7 games on the bounce this level of football. That's world class. That's fantastic. So it wasn't too damn beaten the dressing room afterwards. A lot of the boys have sort of apologised. They don't have to. They've been on a great run. And if you're going to sack something off, if you're going to chuck a cliche out there, that's not a bad game to chuck in a bin. You know, we're doing all right in the league, and we've made great progress in the Vars, which is important, and more important against the Cup. Of course, you don't lose any game of football, but we just challenged the boys to get back on track for Fisher on Wednesday night. Will we pick the same size area from Belvedere? We'll be dictated by availability first and foremost, and we've got to a special mention here. Karl off the bench again scores a great goal and puts the assist in for early on. Don't normally do this on social media, but that boy has to start. He has to start. He has been bubbling under the surface. He's doing great coming off the bench. The only concern might be that he is a sort of person that can affect and change a game upwards. The challenge for him now, if he hears this, is get out and start games like you go on as a game finisher. To come into that game and adjust it like he did with 2 additions to the game, that is high level stuff. So he's forced his way in. on Wednesday night, and we'll work it around that.
So well done, Karl. Dan, we'll have a quick message for Michael, one of your coaches, that I understand has had to step away from the club. Do you want to say a thank you to him, or?
To be fair, Michael I've known long enough, and we've got a very strong personal relationship, so I'll probably keep that in-house. Michael's not someone to sort of broadcast, but what I will do is I will say that he has added so much to ourselves over the years, and there's no doubt about it. I mean, even looking around today, I just missed the fella. You know, I can handle things and whatever else, but he is such a good person to bounce off, and he doesn't take any rubbish, and he's one of the few people, you know, I can be strong-headed and bullish. He's one of the few people that says, wait a minute, sit down, shut up, you're getting this wrong. And when you don't have that person around you to challenge your thoughts, you are going to miss them. Has that affected the day? Probably not. It's affected my day probably more than the players. I hope that things settle for him on a personal level, and he's able to be back in the fold at some point. We'll stay in touch. Our personal relationship is strong. It's just a shame that our football relationship is perhaps temporarily ended. But I hope he'll be back.
Well, thanks for that, Dan. We'll see you on Wednesday for the game against Fisher. I think we owe them one as well after that performance there, and hopefully we can get back on track in the league and move on.
First of all, we owe ourselves something after today. We were C+, C-, C. We need to be rocking up A- to go A and A+. Ability, attitude, application. We've got to apply ourselves properly. Our attitude has got to be 1,000,000%, and then our ability will come out. We've got to get back to that, and we will Wednesday. Don't worry about it.
Cheers, Dan. See you Wednesday.
Thank you very much.
Ciao, mate.